Hello and welcome to our Salesforce United episode, a podcast about Salesforce and people who work with it. Here we discuss engineering discoveries, professional secrets, and careers of our guests. I'm 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿, a Salesforce software testing engineer, and to my delight, your host.
Hello, my name is Elena Ulyanova. I am a testing and Salesforce enthusiast, Salesforce consultant, and for my pleasure, the host of this Salesforce United podcast.
Today, we are excited to welcome 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿 Fields, a certified project manager, Scrum Master, and 4 times Salesforce certified expert with over 10 years of experience leading agile teams. She is a sought-after keynote speaker at events related to Salesforce and is known for her ability to drive projects, coach teams, and inspire innovation. Let's welcome the amazing 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿 Fields. We are really happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me and wanting to speak with me. I'm excited.
Hello, 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿. Nice to meet you. And as we already know, you have a wonderful path in Salesforce career and in project management. So actually, let's start from the very beginning. What inspired you to pursue a career in Salesforce and project management? And what do you enjoy most about it?
Oh, man. So I got into Salesforce by accident, but I do feel it's one of the best oops of my career, right? Like it's opened a whole different world for me. But my sister, oddly, told me that the military was sending her to study Salesforce in Texas, and she needed me to plant it. And that was how I was introduced to Salesforce. She came back excited and told me that she believed that I could do it. And long story short, later on, I did pick it up and I landed a junior Salesforce admin role. And because that role was so disorganized and so much technical debt, I kind of accidentally became the project manager, business analyst, and I fell in love with project management from that point on.
Okay, so it was a great introduction, to tell you the truth. Very interesting story. But if to switch to the project managers and project management in general, I know that our listeners are curious about what the role entails, especially in a Salesforce-focused environment. So please tell, what do you do on a day-to-day basis as a Salesforce project manager? And is there anything that makes it unique compared to other project management roles?
Sure. I think in English, you can kind of just imagine being a translator, a therapist, a time traveler, a tech whisperer, all of that before lunch, right? That's kind of what you would put as a Salesforce project manager. We manage almost everything that involves the project from start to finish, which includes the budget, managing the resources who will do the work and build on the platform. I believe what makes it unique is that you're working with a living, breathing system that changes constantly. It's very customizable, and we work with a lot of different clients who have different business needs and cases, and we're able to manage those timelines and align their strategies to evolve with this beautiful technical CRM.
Mm-hmm. And based on your consulting and management experience, what are the most common misconceptions businesses have about Salesforce as a CRM?
Oh, man. I think that there's a lot of things that are misconceptions with the Salesforce platform, especially when you dive into the nonprofit sector. All of the businesses just assume all of the Salesforce work is just not that hard. It's not that complex. It shouldn't be that much of a lift, to make this change in the requirement. And so I think the biggest misconception is that it is very simple just because they understand their own business processes. They think that it's not that big of a lift, but to customize a system that was not organically designed for their business, it is a little bit of work. It requires testing. It requires thought process. And the deep understanding of Salesforce platform and its capabilities, because we also don't want to make it too complex so that client or business can keep up with the work outside of us. So I think the biggest misconception is how easy it is to work on the platform.
Yeah, that's such a good point, not to think about Salesforce as just a simple system. You are correct. And it's not just misconceptions about the Salesforce that stand out. For someone with small agile experience, misconceptions about project management may pop up daily too. And what do you think? What is the biggest misconception people have about agile project management or agile project management on a Salesforce project?
Oh gosh. I think, just my own experience, I think that a lot of people, confuse it and think that agile means no structure or no planning. And that's the complete opposite, right? Agile isn't winging it. It's, strategic planning. It's very disciplined. It's flexible, but it's within the original framework. It's prioritizing adaptability. It's constant improvement, continuous improvement, trying to get, like this rigid perfection in a sense. And you do still have to document and be agile with, your clients and be flexible and able to change, but it's not just free for all. Okay, I could do this week and I don't have to stay on schedule or have to do this. Everything kind of aligns and rolls into the other. So you miss this step, it's going to have an effect on the rest of the plan. So we're going to have to go back and, redo some things or something in that capacity. So I think that, people may assume or have the misconception that agile is just a free-for-all, and it's not. It's very structured and organized.
Well, so you gain different experiences in various roles in Salesforce, like Salesforce administrator, consultant, Scrum Master, project manager. So different roles with different ways to deal with different problems and different people. So how these positions helped you to see Salesforce projects in a different way?
Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful question. It really is. And you'll hear this in my answer in a few, but in my experience as a junior admin, may it be brief, it was a little over a year, but I experienced extreme technical debt as the admin. I experienced not having proper managers over me, directing me as newly coming into this role. It was a junior admin role. So it was very, it almost made me step away from the Salesforce ecosystem, just how unorganized and how it was. And it's not a dig at them. People just don't know what they don't know, right? And this was also a nonprofit that I worked at. But that experience taught me extreme empathy for the resources. I became the project manager that I wish I had in my junior admin role. I learned things from within that role to, be able to give respect. So in my PM role now, I do not estimate for my resources. I get their buy-in. I ask them, is this realistic? Is this possible? I'm not behind the scenes anymore. So I haven't kept up with how Salesforce has changed or anything in that regard. But, I know that I can't speak for my dev or anyone and say, oh, this should be easy, because I know that it's not. I know that I've experienced a person telling me, well, I committed to this deadline and you need to have it done no matter what. Then I work till 2 a.m. and it's not even appreciated. You don't get a thank you or anything like that. So I kind of having that experience as a Salesforce admin pushed me into having the extreme empathy that I do have for my resources and the people that I work with. I'm very, very protective of them. And they're grateful to me for it. And I just love it.
I was just listening to your reply, and I would like to say that it is such a unique advantage because you are able to connect technical insights with the business strategy, and it makes you an invaluable part of any project team, I'm sure in it. And my question. So speaking about the business goals, and let's talk a little bit about the strategy. How do you approach aligning Salesforce solutions with organizational objectives? I mean, the objectives of a company you're working for.
Yeah, I think just with everything, you kind of have to start with the why. Like, why are we here? What are we doing? Why do you feel you need this? And we kind of go from there to kind of align the solution and make sure that it's, on target with the business goal, with, this technology. We like to be very collaborative when we're creating like our roadmaps and things with our stakeholders, so that we're having them aligned, because it's two parts. The Salesforce team, we know Salesforce. We know it through and through, right? And the business side, the clients, because I'm in consulting, they know their business through and through. So they're going to be strong-holding, trying to get their business design. And it's up to us to kind of learn their language a little bit to map it into the Salesforce language. And so I think that is what it is. The strategy is always going to evolve with, insight and getting the why down instead of just us assuming and, we get to build and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's not what we had imagined. That's not what we thought. Right. So instead of us working on assumptions, getting to the bottom of it and understanding the why behind why this project is even a project, why they're making this move, what are their real pain points, and just not assuming. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, great. Thanks for your answer. And let's jump to motivation and personal growth part. Ooh. So to gain the experience, you need to learn something as well, and always to be inspired with other people and other learning materials. As I think. So you perform also as mentor on Salesforce platform.
Yes.
Yeah. So how has the experience shaped your perspective as a professional? And have your mentees taught you anything unexpected?
Oh, great question. I don't even think I remember reading this question, but I do love the I do love the question. I kind of became a mentor because when I entered the Salesforce ecosystem, I received a lot of help and a lot of support. I came into the ecosystem in 2020, around, like the COVID timeframe. And so everyone was just so incredibly helpful, and any problem or concern that I had, they were eager to jump in and help. And so in my journey, I just told myself I have to send the elevator back down. I have to go out and, help people. And my brain, I'm also neurodivergent. So my mental health and things like that, it was an extreme challenge for me. And if I could be any support or help from someone else and let them know, like, hey, it's not going to be easy, but it is doable. That is what I loved about being a mentor, and that has helped me in my professional space because it keeps me humble. It allows me to stay in touch with the constant challenges that are happening within the ecosystem. While I may not be looking for a job at the moment, I do empathize with all of my mentees as they're talking about their struggles with, getting their resume out there, getting hits on, job interviews or things in that nature. And So I really do love staying connected and grounded in that space. I never want to get too big headed. I'm already experiencing salaries that I never thought that I would imagine. I'm not degreed or no college degree. So I love the opportunity to give back. Right now, I'm a mentor on the Trailblazer mentorship program through Talent Stacker. Shout out to them. And the whole process has just kind of taught me to never underestimate passion over pedigree, in a sense. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the empathy that it gives me within myself to kind of stay humble and grounded. And I hope that I never lose the desire to mentor or to help anyone. I absolutely love it. And that also spills into how I empathize with my clients on, that side. Like, yes, I advocate for my resources and knowing, what they do for work, but I also have to understand these people are not in the Salesforce ecosystem like we are. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the processes. And I love being able to be that person to kind of be the liaison between the two.
You've mentioned so many valuable points, really, and that's really amazing. It's inspiring that mentoring is not only about giving back, but also growing alongside with your mentees. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that a lot of motivational speaking comes from the lessons that you learned along the way. And what is one actionable tip you usually share with others feeling stuck in their career progression? What do you usually say?
Oh man, great. I literally just spoke to a mental health group last night, and I gave this presentation, Don't Tell Yourself No Before the Opportunity Does, or someone else. And what I mean by that is, as humans, we often will find a lot of reasons to not do something, or they might say no to me, or this might not happen, or it might not work out. And your next chapter doesn't need anyone else's permission, just your decision to go forward. If you're stuck, start small. It doesn't have to be this grand old thing. Whatever you need to do, just go ahead. Don't give up. And you don't really have to tell anybody. You just do your own business and don't grade yourself on somebody else's scale, right? Like, it's your own life, it's your own path, but absolutely get out of your head and stop telling yourself no before the opportunity does.
Okay, so Shaniqua, tell us how to gain such a success in a project manager role. So what habits or practices we need to follow?
Oh, wow. Yes. So let me just say, top of mind, 3 things. You have to be ruthless with your prioritization. You're going to constantly have to do that, whether it's working at a consulting firm or anything in that regard. You're going to have to constantly be scanning, going through, and just make sure you're prioritizing the things in a very organized way that's going to be super productive. Also, proactively communicate. That is with struggles, that is with roadblocks, that's with risk, anything. It is better for you to over communicate and proactively communicate versus letting something get caught on fire. And then now you're having to bring other people in to help you, put this out. Get that help, get that buy-in, get that support from anyone, whether it's your internal team or your clients. Oftentimes I have a lot of off the record moments with my clients just to, allow myself to be raw and get their input on that. And then this third thing I would say is quiet time. Like, allow yourself to have that space to just breathe, not taking on other tasks, not responding to emails, just breathe, give yourself the time to think about all of the things that you need to do. It's something that you need. Strategy doesn't happen between, your back-to-back calls on Zoom or, your back-to-back emails, responding to Slack or anything, that happens. You do need that time to kind of process it and perfection is never the answer, right? And I think that it's really the enemy of progress. So if you take that time to be human, allow yourself to make mistakes, but think about that in your quiet time and go back in and fix it, that's where you can improve. You grow from every failure. And I think those are my best practices.
Okay, so those are really fantastic practices about the quiet time. I will remember it for myself, definitely. Thank you so much. And finally, for those aspiring to follow in your footsteps, what advice would you give to future Salesforce project managers? What should they do?
I think for future Salesforce project managers, you can learn the platform basics, understand the ecosystem and everything that it entails, kind of get obsessed with like how people do the work already, and then make it your own. You can shadow projects, you can volunteer, whether it's internal or external. There are a bunch of nonprofits or things like that where you can kind of get some of the hands-on experience. But think of the PM project management skill set as like a Swiss Army knife, or, this unique tool that has all of these different things that you need, and it's just in this one small compact thing. You build your own tools, figure out what works best for you. Don't monitor or manage yourself on someone else's scale. Take from other people what you like and what fits and feels organic to you, and use that. Also, confidence. If you're not confident in yourself and whatever you're able to produce, how do you expect a team to follow? How do you expect to be able to get things done and get it handled? And then when you're dealing with clients, they need to feel assured, that they're making the right decision. And a lot of times you're telling them that what they thought they want is not the best way. And so you have to be confident in your decisions and your thought processes, and understanding the basics of the platform itself to project that confidence and let people know that this is the right way. It may not sound easy because you don't know it, but this is the best way, and it's going to save, whatever time, money, headaches, anything in that regard. But really just never stop growing. Continue to sharpen your tools, continue to improve, find ways to be better, stay connected in the ecosystem, go to conferences, expand your network. This is going to always be a long lifetime learning role, and it's very rewarding.
That's excellent advice. Sounds like the perfect path forward, really. Shaniqua, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your wisdom across so many areas today. It's been incredible to hear about your career, practical advice, and motivational energy. I know that our listeners will walk away inspired and equipped to take action in their own careers.
That's the best thing. I wish everyone the best luck in any journey that they have towards it. Get started. Don't be too scared. Don't linger. Go ahead and get started. Now's the time.
Thank you, Shaniqua, for your inside information about project management in Salesforce, and for your pieces of advice you gave to our listeners. So wish you good luck in your career path. And thank you, our listeners, for being with us as well. So, as always, we'll be very happy to receive any comments, questions, and ideas. And if you liked the podcast, please rate it on the platform and share with your friends. So, till very soon, until the next interesting podcast. Stay tuned.
Until then, keep trailblazing. Goodbye.
Bye, listeners. Thank you for listening. Enjoy.